It is the 26th of April 2020. Today I'm recording a very special presentation. I'm going to go through every single different market on Binance, and I'm going to explain why they are all in each different color code for our bull market watch spreadsheet. This is a real inside look at all of our trading plans, and I'm also providing a free spreadsheet for you, and I want you to click on the link down below and get this spreadsheet and follow along as I go through every market. I want you to be filling out what would be your trading plan. What is your target entry? What kind of trade is this? Put in a screenshot of it. Put in your profit targets and your stop loss, and this system will automatically calculate your reward target, profits, your risk to reward ratio, and if you update your Bitcoin value, it'll tell you what your open profit and loss are. All of this is included in the spreadsheet down below. So that's the first thing I want to accomplish, is that you get this training and you make the most of it. Second thing I want to accomplish is that if you find value in this, share it with friends. I'm excited to share the entire trading plan with you because the more you believe in it, the more you'll take action. And I'll tell you, knowing about it isn't enough. Recognizing that it's a good trading plan is much different than recalling it during times of stress. It takes practice, and that turns it into a habit. So it's not just this one snapshot that you may need, the actual subscription to the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet so that you really get familiar with stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and 4, and 5 of the trade, and especially what happens after stage 5 of the trade. That's where cointracking.co comes into my trading, because I use this all the time to report on my profit and losses in my trades, in addition to doing my taxes at the end of the year. And if everything that we're learning here today really works out for us in crypto land, again, next year, we're really going to need to know how to do our taxes on this. The third step is to get going. Let's open up the spreadsheet and I'll start going through the markets. Let's start off with ADA. We can see that ADA has already gone through our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It was in alert status and it's already gone into hold status. So now we can go on to ADX, which is in alert status here. And I can hear you asking, what about ADA if I'm just new to the bull market watch spreadsheet and something is in hold status already, what do I do? Well, it's kind of like swinging the bat after the ball has gone past home plate. So the best ideal thing is to be there for the time that we have the transition from alert to hold status. That's the time to pick up the trade. And anything after that is less ideal because the price can swing back. So it may still be worth buying. It certainly is still worth buying. But to reduce the risk, I would reduce the size of my entry right now if I wanted to buy right now. And I would let myself know in advance that that first little purchase I do is going to have the freedom to do anything it wants in here. I don't really care. And I'm not going to pay any attention to anything inside that range. I'm going to leave that money there. If it gets down below here, maybe I'll sell it out and I'll be down 10% on that very small little entry trade. Once it gets above these levels and consolidates, now I can consider adding on with my real trade. And it may not be this chart pattern here at all. But the idea is to put on a small bit of your trade knowing that you're going to add on to it later. Let's take a second here to review the basics of the whole trading plan. It is to wait for the break of the downtrend line, a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to set itself up, and the 12-hour exponential moving average to cross over. After that, it's pretty, we're trading a very small position, so we're trying to reduce our risk by reducing our position size and doing diversified trading rather than trying to nail our exit so precisely. And so if I was to be thinking of FOMOing in on this right now, I would have to do it with a very small position. And if I did get the position profitable, I'd put my stop up above my entry and then wait a while. Let's go and find some more that are alert status already and in a better position. So this one is in alert status because it is breaking the downtrend line. We do have the number 1 point, kind of a number 2 point, kind of a 1, 2, 3 setting up here. It's not one of my favorite markets overall. In general, I'm going to be looking for markets that did a pretty good move here, and then they did some sort of better move than this through this period of time, and that they've come back on enough of a downtrend that it's better than this sideways action here. And we can sort these markets a little bit by going into the spreadsheet itself and then going to the second tab here for the BMW filter, and we can select down just the markets that have spent more than 15 days in hold status in 2020 since January 1st. These are the coins that are in alert or hold status that have shown that activity this year. That is, they did something worthwhile in 2020, that they spent more than 15 days in hold status. And so those coins that went sideways like this, they may be alert now and they may do a big pump up, but they're not one of my favorites, and I would have a smaller investment in them, though I want to have a little bit of pretty much everything. And I want to have a little bit of everything because you really don't know which one's going to go and just keep going and going. I don't know enough about the projects and I don't care to learn about that. I could just follow along with the charts. So now we should start skipping through these a little bit more quickly. AE, now this one has given us more of a downtrend and a new number 1 point. So it is nearly failing or failing to new lows here. It needs to build some more structure before that 12-hour EMA can cross. So this one is just in near fail status there. It'll go up to neutral soon. AGI is in alert status. It's kind of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation there. It is at brand new lows. I do like that it's done something back here in the year before. And I don't know if it's in the list that made 15 days in hold status here, but I would filter out against that. Now, for my own part, this is a double bottom. It could be a 1, 2, 3 right there. And when the 12-hour EMA breaks above these regions, it would be the first stage of a trade where you'd put on the first little bit of your trade, hoping that it does a big move and you can get your stop loss above your entry. And if that was the case, later we could think of adding on to it, because you could double your position and keep your average entry below your second level stop loss. So let's go on. AION is alert status. It's probably jumping in the hold status now, but you can see how it was laying along the side, and this is likely one of the coins that is in the good list, right? It spent more than 15 days in hold status, so that it shows that it has some investor interest, and it's just the market conditions that brought it back to where it is. It's holding above these levels here. Terrible line, but it's holding above these levels. So now that it's done this blast off and pulled back, and you haven't got, $5, $10, a small little bit into this might not be a bad idea for all of these coins right now. Let's continue on. Algo is also in alert status, and this is a beautiful chart. I am very excited to have you guys along following with this. If you haven't already, come over to Discord. If you're enjoying this and you think this is valuable, share it with somebody. It doesn't reduce how much you can make off of this. My sharing this with you doesn't reduce how much I can make off of this. Beautiful 1, 2, 3 pattern right here. Absolutely what we're looking for. That'll be a hold status here tomorrow. Not to say it may not pull back. There's no way to know the future, but when it makes the cross on the 12-hour, it's worth the risk. And what we would do then is put on part of our position, and we would wait until the 4-hour EMA crossed. And it may, if it were to pull back immediately from where it was and just went straight down, down, the 4-hour EMA would cross here, and we would be at a loss to get in now and get out there. So if that is 1/2 of 1% of our entire portfolio, and we lost 10% right here, overall, it's a very small risk for trying this out. And each time the 12-hour does this, we try it out. So let's continue on to the next one. And AMB, it was marked as neutral. Yeah, it doesn't have enough of a clear 1, 2, 3. The 12-hour EMAs need some more time. ANKR is also neutral, but this is a closer to a 1, 2, 3 breakout pattern here when it gets up above these levels. So it'll be in alert status pretty soon. Moving on to APPC, also neutral. It's prone to some big moves. It's done some great stuff in the past. It didn't really get, it was a pump and dump here earlier. So a small investment in it might be prudent. It is building higher lows, and it is making the 1, 2, 3 formation. So let's continue on to Ardour. Ardour is neutral in the spreadsheet. Let me move this over. So we have Ardour right at the edge. And just a quick look at this. It might have had some strength there. I do believe in the project in the long term. Anything you can build an application onto, I'm interested in that. But it needs some more work to break the downtrend line, give us a nice 1, 2, 3 formation, and it may be prudent to just wait until it's right up above these levels rather than playing inside these levels, because then you're fighting inside a tight range. It's a matter of preference. Moving on from Ardour to ARK has moved up into alert status. It did have some movement last year. It did a little bit of noise here. Looks like accumulation or pump and dump. But as it starts to surge, it's worth a small bit. Everything is, just to try it. Going on to ARPA. This is also in alert status. It is broken out of the 1, 2, 3 pattern. It should actually be in, I would put it in a hold status. So hold or alert, it is just a bullishness indicator, not a hard sell signal. If you want those are in the pro alerts. But watch now that this is an alert status. As it breaks above these levels, it'll be in hold status. And over time, it's not going to make that much of a difference what we're getting into. Out of these bottom formations, it's pretty much a level of semantics. But for my own part, remember, the 1, 2, 3 pattern has two different places you can enter on it. You can enter on the break of the 1, 2, 3 pattern right there. Or you can enter on strength when it tests the number 2 from on top. So after it's broken out many times, it'll come back and retest the number 2 point. Right? We've got the number 1, we got the number 2, we got the number 3 point because it's up higher. And the price comes back and it tested this number 2 point but got support and then is going higher. So this tells me that it is not a fake out breakout that's going to go down and continue the trend down. So I hope these 1, 2, 3 patterns are making sense to you, and that if you are starting out in trading and this is new to you, really start off small. Really, if I had $10,000 to trade, no, how much is a Bitcoin worth now? If I had 1 Bitcoin to trade in this, I would trade 1/2 of 1% of a Bitcoin into each trade. That's 0.005. would go into one of these trades. What's that, about $35 right now? That's how small the trades should be into each one of these different markets. And so if you are starting out small and you're starting out with $100 and you're splitting this up into just minuscule little trades, it's okay, really. Leave them there. Don't overtrade. We're positioning and it's going to be worth it in the long run. Even if you're just doing this with paper trading, watching this right now and paying attention with the spreadsheet and doing this work, you're going to be retraining the way your brain looks at money, how money works. And then you're going to learn how to put yourself into position so that money works for you. I'd like to teach so that money is not your boss, so that you are not working for money, but you are putting the money there and you're not micromanaging it. So you put a little money here, you leave it, you let it do the work. What is this market anyway? Air swap, ARAST. It's neutral. It's not going anywhere. It needs to build up from here. Atom. Okay, I've got it marked as a hold status coin in Poloniex, but it's okay. It is close to breaking above these levels. It has broken above the 1, 2, 3. The 12-hour EMA has crossed over. So as it breaks above these levels, you can expect that it's going to be in hold status in the spreadsheet. Now, even if it is alert status now, again, in the long-term future, it's okay to be this inaccurate with your entries. It is okay to fudge it this much. So when it turns to hold status, you don't have to fret the exact entry you get. Fret how big your trade is. Make sure it's very, very small compared to your overall portfolio. Now, later, we'll talk about better ways to deal with this. Now, here, band was a great one. We had this as an alert for our pro alerts down here. It's over 90% profit from that alert in April. You've got to watch these 1, 2, 3 patterns. You've got to trade small and put on, and then when they are proving you correct, that's when we can add on to them. So you're starting off small to keep cash available. Then you can add on to the ones that are good. The ones that keep going sideways, you got a small piece of it, but this one I would want to have had added on to it as it's already proven us correct. So this one in a hold status, no, this is not something you buy into. We're waiting now for it to give us a pullback and a consolidation in any shape. It doesn't matter where it is, but so long as it gives us the 1, 2, 3 pattern, then we can be looking at an action point again. So for now, this one's gone past, and I would recommend that you just wait on this and get used to seeing this as a missed opportunity, and that it's okay. It's going to come back, and it's going to give us another chance to do it later in the future. It's good, no worries. Because look at this 1, 2, 3 pattern that it has not broken out yet. And when it does, I imagine it's going to do something pretty amazing in the long term. So a little wee bit of this as it's breaking out would be pretty good. So phenomenal that it's in alert status right now. The Bitcoin Diamond is in neutral stance right now. That's because it already went into hold status and it got it kicked out because the 12-hour EMA crossed negative, and we're just watching for it. It'll go back into a hold status as it breaks up above these levels. Let's go on to BCH is same thing where it's already crossed over our 12-hour EMAs. We got into this earlier, and now we're waiting for it to build a 1, 2, 3 formation, and when it breaks above these levels, we'll be here in the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet will give you the timing. BCC, this one, BCPT, it is downtrend. It's getting ready, but it's neutral for now. Beam, it is alert status. It's kind of an ugly 1, 2, 3, but it works. It's a 1, 2, 3. It's coming up to it. The EMA is crossing over, so a small bit of it in that position again, and then this is when you're going to get out. If it actually comes down this far, then you would close that trade, or you would have a closer trade if you're wanting to be close with it. And as soon as you can, then you get your stop loss up above your entry. What we're doing right now is stage 1 of the trade. If you're going through the website and you're taking the free webinar, then you understand all 5 stages of the trade. And what we're doing right now is the work of stage 1 of the trade, is we're laying out which coins we want to target. First of all, shortlisting it by giving them the alert status. What is this one now? BLZ, not ready yet, but it is a 1, 2, 3 shaping up. So above these ranges, it will be in there. And the next one is BNB. Slide this along. It's giving us entries and exits there, which is kind of difficult to trade. Let me get my mute back. So BNB, we're playing along with the 4-hour. Alrighty, let's take a look at this. We have, this is our 1, 2, 3 bottom here, and it broke out above. And then after it broke out above, prices have come back, and part of our plan is to close part of our position when the 4-hour EMA crosses over. So this is an exit, and I would just leave it neutral alert on BNB for this one. So let me go back. And when the 4-hour EMA crosses back over, then we'll put our full position back on in this. So our assumption with the trading plan is that we are going to put on our full position, 100% of our position there. Remember, 100% of our position is 0.5% of your entire portfolio. If I had $10,000, that would be $50 goes in here as the start of my trade. Then, if the 4-hour EMA crosses, I take $25 of my trade off. If the 12-hour EMA crosses, I take the other $25 of my trade off. And so, now that we had our entry of 100% of our position, we'd be out of half of our position here, looking to put that other half of the position, right, that other $25 of our 50 that we put onto this, we would put that back on when this 4-hour EMA crosses over again. So it's a little bit of a filter, and it's also just a tracking choice, so that later we can go back and say, oh, here's where the 12-hour EMA is exited. And if we'd have stayed into the 12-hour EMA instead of using the 4-hour EMA as a little bit of a timid way of getting out part of our position, which way would be better in the long term? There's no way to know. There's only a way to test it afterwards, and then you get the familiarity with the shape of the top formation as it's setting up. So you know that the break of the trend line and the 1, 2, 3 top formation is the exit point. And getting to know the exit point before it comes up is vital, because we can't tell you that the exit point is coming up. We can only tell you that it's already gone by. But if you know about the 1, 2, 3 top formation, and that when the 4-hour EMA crosses, that it's going to be an exit, and you are also right here at this time seeing this chart pattern shape up, you can go, you know what? I'm going to take my $25 off right there. And then afterwards, the next day, you're looking at the spreadsheet and you say, hey, look at that. They also said it was an exit. I did it right. Now you know that you're trading without the training wheels. So BNB is a really great example because we have that pullback there. Love it. Let's go on to, that's BNB US dollar. And it is instructive to look at both charts because you can see this is building up. And that should this be breaking out as we are going, I'd have a lot more confidence in this continuing to go up, especially if we see Bitcoin dominance dropping at the same time. So if Bitcoin dominance is breaking these levels and dropping down, and I'm watching all of those things break out, it just gives me more confidence to take a look at the US dollar value of it. Now, Banker Network token, it is doing some wild stuff. So this one, I would be so timid with any size of position in it, but we will track it and we will call it. And even though we may not trade it with any kind of position size, it's still part of our tracking. BQX. BQX is neutral right now in the spreadsheet, but I want to take a perspective on the break of the downtrend line here, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. Prices have come back to test just above that prior 1, 2, 3, and they're making another 1, 2, 3 formation, building up here, breaking the downtrend line. And should this 12-hour exponential moving average crossover, this is going to be a really good buy signal. This is a really beautiful bottom that has taken a long time to build up. And I think it is a phenomenally golden opportunity, and I'm going to update that actually to an alert status in the spreadsheet right now. Let's go on to BRD, which is just neutral. It's on its way down. It hasn't made a 1, 2, 3 yet. Okay, not yet. BTC, of course, it has made the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. We did the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation over here, but it was a real tricky one until the 12-hour EMA crossed. And as we're breaking above the 1, 2, 3, that is where we're going to switch that over to a hold status. And it did break earlier, so I am going to update that to a hold status just for our tracking, because again, this isn't trading spreadsheet, it's a tracking the bullishness and bearishness of the entire market. And just because it's gone into a hold status now, it follows different rules. We won't get out of the hold status now till the 4-hour EMAs cross. So Bitcoin Gold is our next one, and it needs to build a better formation than this. If you're starting to see the 1, 2, 3 pattern, you can see that this is building nicely above support, nicely above prior support. I like it. It is a 1, 2, 3, and our job would be to wait until a breakout above these levels. It would go alert status above here now. We could zoom into the 4-hour time frame, and if it gave us a 1, 2, 3 pattern in and then the crossover, we could take that. We could take that alert. But I don't like these ones that are not nice 1, 2, 3s. They get past me personally. So BitShares also might get past me. It is a 1, 2, 3 formation here on the small time frames. It does have a beautiful bottom from these support levels, so a break of this trend line is really important. And of course, cryptocurrencies are risky. That's why we're doing 1/2 of 1% of our entire account. If I had $10,000 to invest in cryptos, I would put 50 into this trade, and I'd take off 25 and 25 when those EMAs crossed. And I may not be ready for it yet. I may make it work a little bit for me yet. I may say, okay, bring it above these levels, build me out a nice enough 1, 2, 3. That's a nice little baby 1, 2, 3 right there. But build me a bigger one, and then we'll talk turkey, and I'll start playing there with, again, 1/2 of 1% of my account. And I'm gonna, the big plan is that this is the starter trade. We know that this is going to be much bigger, and when it comes up and when it comes back and consolidates, not if, then we're going to add on the second part of our trade. So if I bought $50 worth of it here, I still have another $50 I can add on to it here. Now I've got $100 onto this trade, but the trick is my average entry is here between the two, and my stop loss is above this. So I've been able to build a very risk-free position in this that I could hold for a very long time. If I get this position built like this, and I have my stop loss above, and prices have continued to go up from here, then there's nothing for me to do. And really, it's important for me to do nothing, because I don't want to get out of this too soon. I want to stay in until after the 12-hour EMA crosses, after the top formation. After the top formation. So once it has done the top formation and on the other side, that's when we're looking to take our profits. We get in here, we get out after the top formation. So once we get in, there's a lot of nothing to do. It's on our favor. This is when our money is working for us. And if you jump in here and do stuff, you're working for your money, and you're probably micromanaging, and you know what happens when your boss micromanages you. It's not productive. Dum dum dum. Great. I love that one. Okay, here CDT, it is alert status. And that's because it's got a bit of a better bottom. The 12-hour EMA has crossed, and we are waiting for the 1, 2, 3 to fill out better. So it'll be, it is alert. It'll be hold status above these levels. And again, it gets the whole same story. You know the whole same story now. And I'll repeat it over and over again, because sometimes it's after you've heard it several different times that it actually makes sense together. And if this plan is making sense to you and you're going, wow, I've never heard this before, share this with somebody. Do me the favor and help me grow this channel. Help me help more people, because people who are not understanding how money works, which is most of us, anything we can do to make money work for us instead of us always working for money, that's making a difference in the world. And we're going on to the long trend here. This is beautiful. I love it. It is still in the downtrend line for me, and so I don't want to jump into this too early for my own part. Maybe I have some already, but who knows? I try to have some of everything, but I try to wait until the 1, 2, 3 breaks out and try to be patient on that, because I do such a small trade in every one of them. I don't really care about any of them. It's easier. CHZ, I want to pay attention to it because of the big move it made last time, but it's not looking happy right now. CMT, same, it's too flat. It needs to pick itself up off the floor a little bit. Show me some gumption, and maybe even I'll wait till it breaks above there, comes back to retest the number 2 point, and then I'll lazily put my $50 in and let it grow. And some of these $50 it'll be worth $500. You'll be pulling out a very nice chunk of change off of this. It's crazy. So be sure to go, if you haven't done your taxes yet, go to cointracking.co. Use the same service I use to import all of the different trading exchanges and create, I can see my profit and loss. I can put little marks on the chart to see where I bought in and got out. I can see where I was super over trading. It's phenomenal. Cointracking.co. And then you can do your tax reports with it, which is going to be really important. If you're buying in here and you follow this, there could be some taxes you'll need to pay. So prepare for it in your mind. Here, CMT is neutral, but it did some moves I like before. So the one thing I don't like about this is that even though it's done these moves before and it did something here, I don't like that it is down below support and resistance levels from the past. These are the projects that get a less investment from me, and I want to save my investments for the ones that show a better pattern than this in the charts. COS, same type of thing. It's making new lows, so I want to watch it. I want to trade it, but it gets less of my attention. This is making higher lows and looking great. What is it? It is alert status. It'll be in hold status right away. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. It's taken a full month to build up. This is really nice. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't matter. I'll just put $50 into it. You know what I mean? Out of my 10,000. So that's how you just diversify across the whole thing. And that's why the bull market watch was put together, and it delivers daily emails to you. That's the power of it. This is neutral. It looks like it's coming down. Civic coin still neutral. It's building, so it's coming. Now Dash is in hold status here, but when that 4-hour EMA crosses, it will be, and it's been sketchy, it's been close. So if it breaks down below here, it'll kick us out of 25 of our $50. And if it breaks above this, I might put the other 50 of my 100 on there and play it out as depending on where I got in. Especially if I got in January when we first put this into alert status, and I'm still holding that $50 worth here. Now that $50 is worth more, almost 100, I could put my other $50 on here on the breakout, and I am well positioned for really amazing returns if this does what it's done in the past. So again, we do have the 1, 2, 3 top formation, and if this crosses over, we'll mark it as our exit, and we'll have that in the reports. Data. It is an alert status, actually, yeah, and it looks great. It could continue to go up. It'll go out of alert status if it starts to break down, and we'll track the track it as it goes. Decreed is near fail status. It's still going down. DLT. It's got some real pump and dumps going on there, so I'm kind of freaked about that. But at the same time, you know, it's been pumped and dumped before, so a little bit of it there, and your sell orders already in place might be the thing to do, but it's not really what I'm looking for in these markets right now. Funny. DNT really did some great moves in the past, but not right now. Let me pull up the 12-hour charts so that we can see. Anyway, DOC. It's did some moves in the past. It's showing it's got some investor interest to me. It's above this 1, 2, 3 from the past. It's making a 1, 2, 3 and giving us the break of the downtrend line opportunity. And what again, DOC is in near fail status, but it will soon go to neutral and soon into alert and soon into hold status as it's breaking up above these levels. So this is the advanced warning on this one, and I love it. Doge is in alert status. I've been really bullish on Doge for a really long time, and this chart doesn't do it justice. I'm going to go over to Poloniex just to do Doge, and let me get back right away so I don't get off track. Doge, also doing the same thing. Weekly price of Doge. This is where it gets really cool. I've made some really nice profits off of Doge, off of these moves. Really nice profits off of these moves in these ranges as they consolidated and as it goes. There has never been a consolidation like this in the history of Doge. This is almost already done all of its mining. It's almost not profitable to mine Dogecoin because most of it has been produced. It's a small trickle amount that's always going to be produced as it's used. But as I think this is a real amazing opportunity to more than 10 times your money. I can't know the future. I don't know if it's going to go higher than it did before, but I think it's going to. I think it's going to go to 300 Satoshi on this move up. And as it starts to go, I think it's been... I think it's going to. Back to this chart. Now, of course, thinking it's going to is not a trading plan. The 1, 2, 3 pattern is the trading plan where you put on a part of your position and you plan to add on if it proves you correct. That's your trading plan. And then you're going to get out when the 12-hour EMA crosses over after the top formation. That's a trading plan. If I think it's going to go up, I buy when it goes up, or I get out when it tells me to, if I do it right. Anyway, this one, what is it? D-Rep is neutral, near fail. Dusk, same thing, neutral, near fail. It's making lower lows. It could blast, but it would be a smaller trade. It just doesn't have what we're looking for. This is a better pattern. It's got some accumulation going on, but I still don't like that it's down below the lows from before. And so it actually gets a smaller investment from me. So instead of 0.5%, I would get 0.25. I would do $25 out of my 10,000 on this just to have it, you know, because if you had bought $10 worth of Bitcoin in about January of 2011, just for easy math, it was 25 cents per Bitcoin. So $10 would have bought you 40 Bitcoin. 40 Bitcoin, of course, if you could have left it there, would be life-changing. Life-changing. And wait till we see what happens in the next 5 years. That 40 Bitcoin, it's crazy. So I don't want to be fooled twice. I want to have $5, $10 of every one of these, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay. ELF is in alert status, as it should be. And this one I like better. I hope you're getting all of this stuff. If you've got questions, bring it over to Discord chat. I want your questions. I want you to have this success. I'm giving this stuff away for free because it's an important time to give this away. It doesn't hurt me that you have success with this. Yet, I want you to come over and join our Bull Market Watch so that you get this information daily and that our work helps save you work. And it may be that you're more interested in our pro alerts actually than our bull market watch. And we can talk about those later. I'll get off track. ENJ is a special coin because it had particular problems with its blockchain with a theft, and they turned off the blockchain right about here, and they said, no, buddy, we're just going to reset everything and you ain't getting it. And now the project has come back to this, but it's a good project and I believe in it. So this is probably a really unique opportunity. I could be wrong. It could be that the project is toast and they found a way to wreck it. I don't know. But when it makes the 1, 2, 3 pattern, this one, I'm going to forgive that it's broken down below the levels from the past. Like I don't like the rest of them. ENJ. Right. Now, this one. ENG, ENJ. This one was beautiful. Our first alert was down here when it made the 1, 2, 3 formation in a very small pattern. This was out to the pro alerts. But of course, this strategy waits a little bit longer, and it's been hold for a while now. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful. You say, should I get into it now? No. You recognize now it is like a number 1 point of a top formation at least. It could keep going up, and we don't know, but for all of our stuff, no matter what, we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 pattern for our entry so that we can have our entry, our stop loss defined in our spreadsheet so that we know what our risk is, what percentage of our money is this, how much it's going to cost for the trade. And while it's gone up, it's too late now. So we have to look for other charts and just take the belief that this is so awesome. And not only is it awesome, it's gonna come back and retest the support and resistance from the past at some time or other. So there's no hurry. There's no need to FOMO. And we do such small trades that it doesn't matter anyway. Now, continuing on to find the opportunities. This is beautiful. I love it. I love the movement that came here and then the pullback that went on and that it held. I like that we have the capitulation lows. You know, the post-capitulation pattern is this. And this is what we have all over the place, where we had the capitulation here on this 13th of March or 12th of March. It was hell. And now everything is stabilized as people are going, oh, what's going on? I don't know if it's going to continue going up, but if it breaks above these levels, you know the plan. So right now, EOS is neutral, but you know the plan. You can see how it's going to be setting up. ERD is already in hold status. So it got in there pretty quick. It didn't really make a 1, 2, 3, but that's okay. You can pay attention to this now. As it goes along, we'll pay attention. But as soon as it is in hold status, then it goes under different rules. And we don't get out of it until the 4-hour EMAs cross over. So it's okay. You know, if you're putting in that $50 and you're small with it, you're good. Ethereum Classic is in alert stance. It'll be in hold stance right away. We can see this double bottom, especially at the capitulation lows here on this date. This is really important. And then we held the bottom, broke this trend line, and we're starting to poke up above these levels. We'll turn it into hold stance soon. It's a beautiful chart from holding above support levels from the past. This is the kind of chart that gets a little extra nudge. Instead of my $50, I might say, ooh, I'll put $75 into this one on the start. There are some that I do nudge up a little bit because of this chart pattern. And I'm super keen to hear your success stories on this. This one has gone up too much now to be an entry at this moment. And again, we had a really good entry on this one. I got the entry a little early here and had to sweat it out as we went sideways there, right through this part. But now, of course, stops are above, and it's great. The thing to pay attention to here again is that the first entry is over here where we've broken out of the 1, 2, 3 formation, and then the second entry is here best, you know, out above this 1, 2, 3 formation. So if I bought 100, or if I bought 1 Ethereum here and I bought another 1 or 100 Ethereum here, then my average entry price is going to be between the two, where I've actually got 200 Ethereum at that price. So I could, as soon as I bought that second 100, I could have my stop loss above where my average entry price would be. This is how to build that second stage where you can add on the risk, and it's actually risk-free. And you have to know in advance that you're going to do the 1, 2, 3. It's going to come up and it's going to pull back, give you an internal 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to add on to really prove it to yourself that we're heading out the way we want to go. And then there's nothing to do. It's important that you leave your stop losses back far enough that you're not going to get stop loss hunted. In fact, you could have a tiny little buy order dangling along here that when people do get wrecked down to here, you're going to add on to your position there. This would be a Bollinger Band mean reversion trade entry, and I'm not covering it here. Here we are with FET. It's really come down. It's some artificial intelligence project that probably is going to be cool in the future, but right now the price has really been hammered and down to a massive wall. So for me, this whole thing is the number 1 point now. Even though the EMAs may cross, that's not giving us all 3 of our conditions. We need to have the number 1 point. This whole thing is the number 1 point. We need to have the number 2 point and then the number 3 point to retest the bottom in order to have the 1, 2, 3 formation show up. Then we have the break of the downtrend line as another filter. So no one of them alone works. You can't have a 1, 2, 3 without the other 2 working. So if the 1, 2, 3 goes before the other 2, it still holds back the whole buy signal so that we are not getting into fake out breakouts and that we are not going to buy something that immediately continues down on the downtrend. We're trying to filter out and only get the real change of trends here. So what are we looking at now? This is FET in alert stance here. So a little early for alert for me. I would want it to build a little bit. Give me that number 3 and then build up, but it's close. You know, if it does blast straight up from this, it will go right into hold stance. FTM, same thing, like the same chart, like the same story. Downtrend, number 1 point. This is the number 2. It's got to give me a number 3 and build something first. So they should both be the same in the chart. So I'm going to just update this to neutral here for now. FTT is actually a top formation. It's a blow off top, pull back, and a consolidation. If it's breaking above these levels, it'll turn into a hold and a buy, but right now it'll stay neutral. Fuel is definitely neutral or near fail. Same with fun. Move these over now. We'll go into gas. 1, 2, 3 formation. It is alert. It's very, I like it actually. I like that we have the support above prior levels. I like the 1, 2, 3 set up here so that it's pulled back. You know, I could just put my $50 right in there, just put my limit order in just below and keep sneaking it up until I get tagged in with my $50, and I would play it by the 4-hour EMA as the exit. So as soon as I bought it there, no matter where, I would then be playing the 4-hour EMA as my exit. I would give it because it could be really wild and the 4-hour EMA wouldn't exit. I want to avoid the wildness to the downside and not get taken out by that. GNT 1, 2, 3. It's got higher lows. I like the setup here. It'll also be an alert tomorrow if it isn't now. Like, it's very close. Go is giving us, you know, it's the similar to the other two there, FET, FET, and FTM. GO. It's building, but not until we get above the support and resistance level here. Now, I would call this the number 1, 2, and this is the number 3, and there's where our signal would be. So GRS, a lot of sideways stuff, and some pump and dump work over there, so you might want to have a bit, and your sell order is already layered out above the market just to be sure, but it's not making the formation for us to track it out yet. This is getting closer. I like the downtrend. I like the bottom formations. I like the pre-pump patterns here, perhaps. Sorry for the alliteration. And down 1, 2, 3. This could do it. You know, it could be into alert status and hold status above these levels, no problem, because then it's actually showing that it is changing direction and it's not just pumping and dumping again and going sideways. That's what we want to avoid, is the sideways stuff. GVT, a lot of selling going on when the price comes up. It's not turned far enough yet to get into alert. I don't really like it so much. Same as this chart, much the same. You know, sideways all along here. It had some action back here, but not enough in 2000. It should have had more action before the dump, the Corona dump, right? If it had life before Corona and came back and survived, okay. But if it was lifeless before Corona and then pulled back a bit, it's one that I'm not going to put as big of an investment in. H bar, it did a 1, 2, 3 formation that if you're not paying attention to them, you just got to play them all without ever knowing what it's actually going to end up happening. You just got to play it. It did a bowl shape. It did a 1, 2, 3 formation here beautifully. And if I zoom in on this and take a look, there it is. Like the 1, 2, 3 is just classic. As we came down, it broke the downtrend line. It made the 1, 2, 3. It broke above it. Then it came back and retested from above, and we could have purchased in again there just before the breakout. Now that it's done all the stuff it's done here, we're waiting for a consolidation. There you go. Don't FOMO in on the big moves. Wait for it. Even if it's 2 months later, it's okay. Wait for it, because it will come up. Now we're having a consolidation that it's less risk of it pulling back. At any of these times, it's crazy risk of it pulling back. Now that it's consolidated like this, we could put our $50 in there, and you know the story. That we start watching for the 4-hour EMA to cross. So it's not quite ready yet. And in the spreadsheet, this one is H bar. It is neutral because the 12-hour EMAs have crossed. And that one kicked us out a while ago. Let's go on to HC, giving us a number 1 point, not a signal. Hot. Okay, not much there. Look at this chart. That is wonderful how it has moved up above these levels and stayed that high above support through the Corona dump. It all survived this well. I like it. And so to put $50 into this at this point here, I would have to be willing to let it flop. Of course, if I put my $50 in and it proves me right, then I can get my stop loss above my entry and I'm okay. Then it doesn't really matter. But if I am going to play on this now that it's already moved a little bit out of this consolidation and breakout, this would have been better a couple days ago if you were watching it. Or what is this again? ICX. And in the spreadsheet, it's just now in alert status where it should be. And it'll be in hold status when it gets above this. Now INS is in near fail. It'll go to neutral and alert right away. Like this will go right away to alert status. There's such a small range. Not one of my favorite because it's not above support from the past. So it would get a smaller, this one as well, smaller pit of juice. Now here we have a market that really is great for demonstrating the 12-hour EMA cross entry and exit. The 12-hour EMA cross entry, and there's the exit after the top formation when it's coming back. So our profit is actually right there from this system in this market right here. Should we get an actual trend, I think this will keep us in the market and we'll have much, much greater profits. But at any rate, now we have the 1, 2, 3 formation, and IOTA is in alert status, and it'll be in hold status right away. We can see that that'll be one of the ones that's transitioning, and that will be in the bull market watch spreadsheet. So if you're not already a subscriber, I'm hoping that this training is helping you, and you don't need this spreadsheet. You don't. You can make your own spreadsheet. You really could. You have all the information. You have the training right now that's giving you everything. You would be able to go through and do this. The benefit of the bull market watch spreadsheet is that we take care of that work for you. And if you're still learning it, it really does take a while to get the hang of it. You can take a black belt class, and it's a great black belt class, but you're not going to be a black belt in karate after just one class. It's going to take some practice. So here, what is this? Kava. It looks great from where it is right now. This is a 1, 2, 3 formation, a sideways range. A break above these levels would give us all of our rules to get into this. It's got the break of the downtrend line. I really like it. That's the 4-hour time frame. Even though this chart doesn't have much history now, breaking above these levels would constitute a buy signal. I like it. So KMD, now it's got a 4-hour EMA cross. Yeah, look at that 4-hour EMA cross. So we're tracking that now, and we'll see. It may go right back to hold status. If it starts to surge again, we'll just track it. It'll go right back to hold status. But tomorrow, it'll be at least alert status, probably, rather than neutral, because it's so close to going back up again. Now KNC is a neutral or alert. It actually should be in hold status from breaking this level and going up. 26th, 27th, 25th, 26th. Yeah, this one should have been hold status because it broke the 1, 2, 3 and the 4-hour exponential moving average cross. And the reason we can get away with that is because we already were in for the 12-hour EMA cross set up here. We got out on the 12-hour EMA cross. So this is a continuation 1, 2, 3. It's not a 1, 2, 3 bottom. This is a trend continuation 1, 2, 3. And that's what we're looking for always. So when you miss a trend breakout, it's okay. It'll come up and it'll pull back and it'll give us a trend continuation 1, 2, 3 that we can get our hooks into. And those we can play on the 4-hour EMA crosses. We don't have to wait for the 12-hour EMA crosses. They're a bit noisier. They are more work. And it's one of the reasons we're putting this together into a bot over on Signally. And let's continue on with Lend. So Lend is in hold stance. And would it be a buy right now? No, because it's like a double top here. It could pull back and then consolidate and go up. Right? Trend continuation 1, 2, 3. So if you had got into this earlier and you had your stop above your entry, nothing to do. It's important to leave it and give it the room to go. Link we've had on our alerts for a long time, but now it's making a double top there. And I don't like that actually. I bought into Link in 2018 and I'm still holding from that time. I took some profit and I just held the rest and haven't done anything with it. So I'm good with whatever it does. I'm just going to keep holding it that little bit. It's already in profit. But we're going to track the 4-hour EMA crosses on this. And I love having this example of the top formation building up. We have a 1, 2, 3 top formation here. Now we have a little 1, 2, 3 top formation here. Kind of a rounded thing, kind of a 3, 2, 1 top formation, but it is, and it does match when the 4-hour EMA crosses. The more important thing is to start getting out to the bigger picture and realize that this is a large 1, 2, 3 potential 1, 2, 3 top formation that we could go sideways for a considerable time after such a big move up, and a double test that we are not passing it is important. I think it may be and I don't know the future, but I will be looking to get out of some of my Link if it starts crossing down below these levels. There's other places I could put that money, I suppose. At least take part of my profits off of that, because it has been a nice trade all the way along. I don't know. We'll see how this goes, because that doesn't match with the overall bullishness of the entire market. That should keep going up if the whole market is bullish. So even if it eases out, we'll pay attention. Loom is neutral. And LRC is neutral right now, but it will cross into an alert and a hold status pretty quick. And of course, the reason is because of this 1, 2, 3 formation setting up here. And this is a more difficult 1, 2, 3 formation to trade because it's giving you the 1, 2, 3. So where do you get in? Way up here. For my own part, then I start zooming in on this and I treat it like a springboard variation of the 1, 2, 3 pattern. So now we have the 1, 2, 3 we're talking about there. So we have the number 1 point here. We have the number 2 point here, and we have the number 3 point here, but we can also see that this is its own little internal 1, 2, 3. And so I can use this as my risk to reward ratio measurement spot. It's a beautiful day and the motorcycles are out. So this gives us a different place to be able to enter on this consolidation here, setting up here. And we are at LRC. Let me can slide this over a little bit and we'll go through a few more of them here. Let's go on to LISC. Okay, it's not building up, it's neutral. It's not giving us the turnaround looking like it's going to be breaking out right now. And let's go on to Litecoin, same thing, easing off right now. It's still going on to downtrend. And I was expecting that this was a mean reversion buy signal right there, that we are going to be going up. And we still could be. This is the new number 1 point. This is the number 2. This is the number 3. This is the downtrend line. So breaks above these levels will be our turnaround and what we're looking for. but we'll still need that 12-hour EMA to cross. So it's going to be a week maybe, unless we have a massive move before Litecoin can step up for us. LTO is neutral, but a very different chart than Litecoin. So as it's moving up a little bit, it'll go into alert status. And as it breaks above these levels, you know it'll be into hold status there. LUN, no, I don't like this nearly as much. It had some bigger moves up here, not so much in 2000. And it's all really wicky, right? Super, super light. So no. Mana, I like this project. I am biased for sure. And I think that these kind of projects that actually are tied to something measurable, like games in a 3D environment with virtual reality glasses, I think is going to go somewhere. And that it's making this consolidation gives us a chance to put our $50 in there and have a very narrow range of entry on that. Again, I want to go over that longer term plan, because if this does do something in the next 3 to 5 years, as our virtual world is going to be building and become more strong, as it goes up, we're going to be happy. As it comes back and consolidates, we could add another $50 onto that and sit back and wait to see what goes on with virtual reality worlds. And really, remember that $10 in the Bitcoin. Matic really got pumped and dumped. Pretty scary stuff here. And yet our entry was out of this consolidation. So our stop was above our entry and none of this bothered us. I don't think we got stopped out on this yet either. In fact, it turned into a consolidation and an additional buy signal here. So as I go into this and clear that off, I want to go over that this is not quite the same as the what is that, FET and FTM in the way this trend is set up. I kind of like this better because of the 1, 2, 3 formation here that's broken out above clear levels and held. So it is alert status now. You know, we can fudge. It's okay. And it'll go into hold status above these levels. So it's really, I like Matic, and I don't know anything about the project or why. I just like that chart. This is too new and not giving us anything we can do anything with. Look at that. Wow, what a weird chart. And the 12-hour EMA kicked us out a while ago. The 4-hour EMA crossed and got us out of this at the top. Because it went sideways for so long, you might have got killed if you had your stop loss there. But if you're waiting for the 4-hour EMA and then you exit, and that just fires the exit signal, then you're not stuck with your stop losses getting wrecked like that. Now that it's pulled itself back, there's nothing to do in this. I wouldn't want to buy on this dip. It isn't the dip yet to buy on. As you'll hear me say, on the trend continuation, I want it to come back, retest it. Show me that you've got the juice, and it's not just me catching knives. The better support and resistance levels that you come to, the more I like it. So nothing to do in this one for a while now. MDA is near fail. Here's another one, near fail. Here's another, near fail. Nothing to do. That's as much time as I spend on these. Here we have higher lows. Oh, yeah. And that it's come back and consolidated like this gives us that springboard trade entry potential right into this little 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Just because it's given us such nice clear levels that we could buy it here, and knowing that we're going to just dump that 50, take our money out, and we'll have $42 or something like that to invest again later. But if it gets up above here, we put our stop loss above our entry, and our $50 is there working for us on this market. We don't have to do anything as soon as we get up above those levels. So I like this chart. What is it? MTL, and it is in alert status. Beautiful. This is beautiful because you can see how scientific this trading plan is. I didn't update this spreadsheet. This spreadsheet was updated by AOL Chandra following the very same plan. She is from India. We've never met except for online, and she has been working as a student of mine for years, and now she is a partner in this, and she helps me every single day by doing these 1, 2, 3 bottom formations and mapping this stuff out. And then time after time, as I go through this stuff, we're getting the very same readings out of these markets because the trading plan is so clear. So if you're finding this stuff helpful, again, share it with somebody who could use it. These are important times to pass on any tips that we can on how to make money. Now, if you want us to do this work for you, the subscription, I think it's really worth it. This is making a double bottom, break of the downtrend line. It needs more juice before it's going to turn into very strong here yet, still in near fail status. Let's go on to Nav coin. It's in alert. And again, this doesn't get my real favor because it doesn't have the juice from the past. It really didn't do much of anything before Corona. And so that it's gone sideways, yeah, it's okay, whatever. Which isn't to say it's not going to make some amazing gains and not going to get pumped, and it could do, but if you had a little bit of it, I would put my sell orders above the market in advance. This is the same one, kind of sideways, not giving us much we can do. And on to Neo. Neo gives us a cleaner structure. It gives us a 1, 2, 3 with a horizon there that we can actually bite our teeth into. I like that it is above this prior support and resistance level. So here we are. Here's our entry. Here's the break. Now it's come back and given us our trend continuation formation. So if we did put in some money there, we kept our stop loss above our entry. Now we could add on that second $50 and it's completely risk-free. This is the great thing. Now your money is really working for you. Long-term, patient, definitely. We're not looking to buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell, and then figure we're smart enough to do all that. Much better to just put the money in there, let time take its thing. Find other ways to make money in addition to what you're doing here with your money working for you. Now, NKN, and how can you make other ways to make money by doing this? You could talk about this. Go and find something like cointracking.co. Go and join their referral program and learn everything you can about how to do taxes for your Bitcoin and write blog posts about it. You'll get lots of traffic. Lots of people will click through to cointracking.co. You will get referral fees and you can invest that money. So this is neutral and really will be it'll be an alert stance very, very soon. And off we could be going with this. I love this chart pattern. Nulls, beautiful downtrend. I don't really like. Okay, it had some juice back here I was looking for. I really don't like that it doesn't have any pre-corona move and post-corona dump. So again, this would get a very much smaller investment for me. And I may see in our Pro Alert spreadsheets that has low market cap. And so I will pay less attention to it because it has low market cap and it's just going to get whipped around. And excess, much the same thing. It could go and we'll track it, but this as well. We'll track the chart pattern just to learn the pattern, but again, there's more to trading than just the patterns. The risk control rule is the most important. Knowing about the project is really good. It's a bonus. I don't do enough of it for sure. It's a weakness of mine. Here is a 1, 2, 3 pattern on the 12-hour for OGN. This will turn to alert status right away. It'll be hold status right above those levels, even though it's a brand new coin. It's holding beautifully. I love that pattern. OMG, I had a lot more hope for this project in the past, and it's come down to make new lows, which isn't my favorite. You may know. It didn't really do much there. It did something, and it has a post-corona dump. So, okay, that's better in my books then. So the 1, 2, 3 here will turn into an alert, and it'll turn into a hold status here soon. And I would just go with it. It would get my $50 at this point. This one too, ONE, I don't know anything about it, but I would give it my $50 based on that chart pattern. This one too, not as happy, but it did a pre-corona move and a post-corona dump. So this bottom and this consolidation gets my attention. ONG. Let me change the chart here so that we can see. ONG. Okay, now we're on to ONT. Here we are. Oh, you know it. It's not my favorite because it's down below the others, but it's made a good move in the past here. All right. And it's got the pre-corona move and then a deeper post-corona dump. I don't know why, but this still would get $50 out of me because of these two components and that it's making the 1, 2, 3. So this would get my full 1/2 of 1% of my $10,000. And here we're getting a double bottom. So this is near fail, nothing good here. Pearl, near fail, but it's kind of looking like those early other coins that once it starts to build, it's above these ranges. It actually is. It'll be alert and hold status. PHB, not as pretty as well. It's got a while to break this downtrend line. but as soon as it's breaking above these kind of levels, it'll be alert and hold stance. PIVX, I was pretty poo-hoo on all of the privacy coins, and apparently the stable coins are going to get nailed. But I thought these would be subject to regulation, and they would be our saving grace. If they could point out a bad cryptocurrency, the others are good, and then you could invest in them. POA, it's near fail. But I think it's going to be the stable coins that get nixed, because what's the point of them anyway? I don't get it. It's just a rich guy's way of putting himself in the middle of transactions so that he can get micro fees in some way or in the network that's profitable. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't put money to develop them. So once the word got out that you can make this much money off owning a stable coin, now they're popping up all over the place. They're going to be regulated, and they should be. It's ridiculous. Anyway, power. It's coming out of a bottom. It's consolidating. This would be our trend continuation 1, 2, 3 setting up out of here. So even if it's neutral right now, we can tell in advance that it's going to be coming into a hold stance pretty quick. PPT, I don't have the confidence in this project itself, but the 1, 2, 3 is setting up there, and I would put 25 of my 50 into this one if it was breaking above that level. And then I'm waiting for the 4-hour EMA to cross to get out of my 25, and I would just probably get out of my 25 on the 4-hour EMA cross on those ones. This is the same thing. Nothing to do here. Nothing to do here. It's got to build some structure yet. I like that it's holding bottoms from before, but it's a really low market cap coin, so a smaller investment. Again, smaller investment here until it gets itself moving in a direction. It's gone flat sideways. It could blast off all of them. But I want them to get up above these levels. Let me get a stick here. I want them to get above these levels. I don't want to ride sideways with a shitty project, right? It's not giving me any juice here. It hardly had any juice there. So I don't want to play just because it's making a consolidation and it's low. I want to get into something that's going to have the juice and the other money backing it to really move my 50 bucks. Right, my 50 bucks isn't going to do anything to these markets, so I don't want to go into those that are looking flat. Like, where's the development on this? Where is the pre-pump? It came down, it's looking good, so I could get a little bit of my money, but not a happy camper on these kind of here's a better chart. This is something now. It's showing me that everybody else is actually working it. So my 50 bucks would go great here. And here, my 50 bucks would be difficult. I'd put my money in and go, not sure. Maybe I would, this would be hard to, but now it's giving us a clear point that if it is going higher, we know our 50 bucks is in a good spot right away, and it's going to be really good. But if it starts to go below these levels, we know our 50 bucks isn't in the right spot yet, and we should wait for it to come back and give us a consolidation. So I like that it's doing what it's doing. That's a good signal here. And what is it in the charts anyway? Quantum RCN, it's already in hold stance. So this is one of the limitations of the bull market watch. Once it's in hold stance, it stays there, and it doesn't consider adding on. Those are the pro alerts there. So RDN is alert stance, and officially it is. And then I don't really like the chart myself personally, right? My story is that it's got lows from it's lower lows, so it's got more work to do to prove itself to me, but it doesn't matter. Once it breaks that 1, 2, 3, I will put on a little bit. It's worth the risk. REN, it gave us the 1, 2, 3. It came back and consolidated, gave us another entry after this consolidation. We would have to have our stop above it and hope it doesn't come back. But what's it set at now for REN? Still in a hold stance for here. So very good. Until the 4-hour EMA crosses. And it could. That's a double top. Underneath support and resistance from the past, we do have the uptrend line break, and that absolutely could be a cross and a time to get out. So knowing about that ahead of time means that you would do the exit, you would see it coming, you would say, okay, I'm not holding it, it's going down below these levels, and then in a couple days or whatever, you would see us change the spreadsheet to an exit status. You would get the verifications that you are doing it, and you can. Rep, it just takes practice. Rep, neutral. So it's neutral, but it'll go into alert status pretty quick. REQ, it's in alert stance. Yeah, it's close, a little early, but that's okay. Here, now I like this chart better, and you know the reason already. It's holding above these levels from the past and giving us a 1, 2, 3 here. So as it's breaking above these support and resistance levels, you just got to do it. That's what the whole thing is all about. Even if you're paper trading it, you're still doing it. You're still training your brain. Now, here is a coin that I've got more personal attention to because I did some mining of it. It's come down, down, down. So I have a bit of it, but I don't really like the chart pattern at all. It doesn't fall into my favorite projects at all. And I don't, kind of surprised actually. Coin is up 15%. It is breaking out right now. So it may not be an alert status in the spreadsheet, but it will be very soon. This is an important 1, 2, 3 bottom that it's taking off of. And just for reflection, this doesn't have enough data. So let's go to Poloniex. Go down to Coin. Pull out the historical data and just reflect on where it's gone. I traded it back here. Back here. It was going sideways for such a long time. Nobody was talking about it. It was a completely forgotten project that had just been released. I bought some of it. And it was one of the first of the early bull markets that I made some money off of. And you can see that it consolidated for a while before it really went higher. Made some great gains off of that because it started off at like 10 Satoshi or something when I got in. Crazy. So from 10 Satoshi up to 170, 180, and then all the way back down to where it is now. And down and down, and oh, it did that other pump up to 800 Satoshi from 30. So you got to be ready for the potential for this to happen again in these markets. Here's another run in 2018, and now we've been in crypto winter, but the project is still great. This is phenomenal. You betcha I have some coin. Of course, I'm a bag holder in it. I've been holding it since this bottom formation here. That's okay. It'll turn out. SNT. This is a beautiful chart. This should stand out from everything that we've looked at because of this 1, 2, 3, and then it broke above just recently in spite of what's been going on. Wow. So status has got something going on. I like it. What is it? SNT. And it's only in alert stance right now, but it's probably been in hold stance earlier, and it'll be in hold stance again right away. Let's go on to Steam now because we're getting through these. Neutral. STR is in storage. STR. Strat. I'm missing a few. I'm in Poloniex. Coin. Sky. Close, but not yet. Singles or whatever it is. I like the bottom formation here. It could be setting up soon. It's in alert stance. SNM. Nothing doing here, but it'll jump. Here's one. It's in alert stance right now. That's the day. There's the 12-hour. And there's the 4-hour. So the 12-hour didn't cross. We had the 4-hour crossed. We had the 4-hour crossed. It really should have been in a hold stance there. But it's in alert. So as it breaks above these levels, it'll go into hold stance. All good. And we're on to Steam, which is making a 1, 2, 3 formation. It's made a double bottom. It's got some stuff going on. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, a small bit would be okay. Storage, I like this formation. It's done some pumps in the past. Not really. The chart doesn't look great. I know about this project because of its similarity to Coin, and I know that it's going to build up into something great. I do believe. And that these are incredible price patterns, but it's still not giving us the alert status. Storm, is still not giving us the alert status, still sideways. Let's go into the 12-hour chart. Sideways, way too much for this market. And so even though it's done some stuff in the past, it's not setting up nice here. Here again, STX has got higher lows going on, so it should be alert pretty soon if it isn't already. Yes, it is. So now we'll go on to Syscoin and we'll check these ones out. Let me move this over. Syscoin. A 1, 2, 3 formation. A lot of sideways action going on. So it makes me hold back until it gets up above this and proves it to me, because it's done so many spikes and pulled back. I don't want to play there. I don't want to work that hard. And T-Fuel, no, nothing going on there. Theta has made some nice moves, really nice moves from this 1, 2, 3 consolidation there. Can you buy now? You, of course, could, but I would wait for it to come back inside and consolidate a bit, or any kind of consolidation, even if it made a consolidation here and then started to break higher, something to consolidate. But when it's made a big move like that, I don't want to play. I don't trust it once it's already up that much. This wasn't a clean one. It wasn't easy, but we'll continue to watch it, see if it consolidates and gives us something else that we can put our teeth into. TNB, I'm not believing in it. It's not doing good there. Here, TNT, difficult chart pattern. It doesn't really fit into ours very well. Here we had a good one, but all through this stuff, it's not really turned out to be easy for this system. Tomo does have the 1, 2, 3 bottom. The 12-hour EMAs have crossed. It could be in a hold stance, depending on how you would have graded that, but certainly it's an alert now, and breaks above these levels would put it into a hold stance for sure. Troy is alert stance for sure. 1, 2, 3 formation alert. It could be going above that, and that's where our hold status would be marked. TRX also alert stance for sure, because of the break of the downtrend line, the 1, 2, 3 formation setting up the nice clean levels that we could look at a position if it's going up above these levels for TRX. VET is also in an alert stance, and I like it better. It's above this 1, 2, 3s. You know it, the 1, 2, 3 consolidation here. So as it's breaking above that, this is really looking great. Never know if this is the one that's going to go or not. So we start off with a small bit of our position, knowing we're going to add on later. And then we get our stop loss up above our initial entry when we can, so that we're protecting ourselves from risk as much as possible. Then when the market does move and it comes back and consolidates, we can add on to our second position here. Our average entry is between, and our stop loss would be between, above our average entry, so that we're guaranteed to be making some money off of this profitable trade here, and we're not going to wreck it by adding on at the wrong time. I've done that too many times. Might be why I repeat this lesson so many times here, so that my subconscious gets it and gets it and gets it, and I'm not going to make that mistake. I will wait. I will ask myself the question when I'm trying to add on, does this fit the pattern? Does this match? So this needs to break above this trend line. It needs some work to do up above these levels for, what is this one? For VIB. VIBE. Now, same story, not so good. I don't like it because it's down below these levels from the past. So it's got more work to get my confidence. I like this one better. It's got higher lows going on. I don't like the wiki pattern going on up here. So it's neutral. Wabi, I would say, is neutral. I better move this over. And bring this back up. Wabi is neutral. Continuing on. WAN coin is neutral, but it could be an alert right away. And it is alert. Okay, good. Waves pulled back from these moves that were looking like they were setting up here. Could be consolidating, but it's neutral for now. WPR is also neutral. A lot of sideways action, not the kind of moves I was wanting to see in February before the coronavirus hit. WRX is the same as BNB, but for a cryptocurrency exchange in India, which is a very new thing again now that they've repealed their ban on cryptocurrencies. So this one really could go very much higher, but it's the consolidation pattern. and the idea of, buy your $50 worth and get out of your $50 worth if it doesn't prove you correct by this time. What are we on now anyway? WRX. Let's continue on with Walton Coin. Downtrend line 1 2 3 formation. It's come back to retest from above. I do like it. It's got the 1 2 3. It's retesting, so that we could be looking at anything around those levels for adding on, actually, even though I agree that it's in the hold stance right here, looking good. XEM neutral, pulled back too much. XLM is in hold stance. We had the 1 2 3 formation here, hold stance, looking good. XMR, we had the 1 2 3. It wasn't very pretty, but it went into hold stance, so we'll just continue watching to see what goes on with that. Let's go on to Ripple XRP. It's neutral. It's on its way down, not doing much. XTZ is making the double top that we see in Link and a couple other coins. Well, let's watch those out over time, because is this the top? We'll have to see. XVG is certainly not the top and not an alert status coin. Oh, this could be. XZC. XZC. It's alert right now. Kind of pulled back from the alert status, but certainly if it gives strength, it's going to be alert. There's another coin that would be alert, I would think, that Yo-Yo. Yes, and if I go like this, Yo-Yo is alert stance. Zcash is in hold stance. The EMAs have crossed. It's above this 1 2 3 formation that we can see here. 1 2 3 formation broke above it. There's anywhere in there is our entry. Have your stop loss above your entry, and there's not much to do now. It's important that you do nothing. Zen, not much to do. Have to wait for this to give us some bite. ZIL, much the same, where we're just waiting for something to give us some bite, and it's not what I'm looking for, really. If we go into ZRX, I like this one better just because of the chart pattern and the 1 2 3 that it's setting up right there. I'm going to go back to ZIL. It surprised me that it is holding flat, not setting up the way I want, but it will change. It'll turn into something, then it'll turn into something better, and I can change my story on it. So that wraps it up with a huge run through everything. I hope you liked it, and I hope that So that's a run through everything. I hope this has been super instructional for you. I hope that it changes the way you're approaching. You can watch this video over and over again. The answers are all in there. They're practical examples that are happening right now. If you want this coaching on a regular basis and you want to have this spreadsheet access, you want to have this kind of data emailed to you every day, then come on over to the Bull Market Watch over on IntroToCryptos.ca. Grab this trading knowledge that you can apply. Learn how to objectively measure the altcoin market cycles, when they're starting and when they're ending, not when we think they're going to start or when it's actually happening. Ask questions all you want in our Discord community and get that daily email summary so that you have the information right at your fingertips quickly. I am super stoked you guys watched all the way along here. Good luck in all of your trading. Be sure to come to Discord and say hello. Let me know how this has changed your approach to trading. Thanks again. Bye for now.